The Marlins with a comeback for the ages. They come all the way back and beat the Diamondbacks 8-7 in 10 innings. I'm going to break it all down and feel free to jump in and let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is going to be an interactive emergency episode on Locked On Marlins.
You are Locked On Marlins, your daily podcast on the Miami Marlins.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to this live edition of Locked On Marlins. I'm Jeremiah Geiger, your host. I've been podcasting about the team for 4 seasons. Go hit me up on X at Jeremiah Geiger 2. This is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is your team every single day. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're just talking about this win. The Marlins beat the Diamondbacks 8-7 in comeback fashion. I'm just so hyped right now. Roberto's hyped. Let's go, Roberto. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? What's up, my boy? Jordan, let's go. Keep swimming fish, fighting fish. That's right. They are the fighting fish. This team was left for dead. I mean, okay, let me preface it with this. I'm really hyped right now. So I'm covering the team in the press box right now. I was doing, live in-game coverage from the press box. And in the press box, you really can't cheer. You really can't show emotion when you're up there. You got to be professional and everything like that. So I'm sitting there to myself. I'm giving you guys the live updates throughout the game. And Sandy Alcantara was on the mound. I was expecting a lot from Sandy. Close out the month of June with a bang. He had a great month, and it wasn't the start that we wanted. He goes 6 innings, 7 earned runs. And that was really going to be the story of this one. Sandy just got lit up by the Diamondbacks. 10 hits, 7 earned. And that wasn't the case. 7-3 in the top of the 8th. This team does not quit. They do not quit. Talk about the fighting fish, man. Otto Lopez, 2-run opposite field jack. How about Otto Lopez? He's been hitting insane these last few games, especially this series. He homered yesterday, homered today. I mean, Otto Lopez gets within 2 with 2 outs. Liam Hicks, base hit. 7-6 Marlins. And so now we go to the top of the 9th. Fast forward, because in the bottom of the 8th, Diamondbacks don't score. That's Valente Beozo. He was good. He pitched 2 scoreless innings in relief. In the top of the 9th, Dane Myers, leadoff base hit, steals second. And then Roberto, Dane Myers has the guts. He absolutely does, because he took off for third. Down by a run when you're in scoring position and got thrown out. Or so we thought, because the Marlins challenge and instant replay showed that he stayed on the base. The call is overturned. He's safe. And Heriberto Hernandez, I got a nickname for Heriberto, Clutch Hernandez, because this guy comes through in the clutchest of clutch moments. He shows up, hits a sac fly. Dane Myers races home. He throws off his helmet. Look at my hair. My hair's all crazy right now. And he dives in, gets there, safe. It's a tie game. And it's a brand new ball game, because we got free baseball if Anthony Bender can lock it down in the bottom of the 9th. Let's talk about Anthony Bender a little bit. First, let's get to some of these comments. Anthony, I just followed you on X. I appreciate it, Anthony. Let's go fish. Broward Dolphins. Jeremiah, tell the fish to help out the Dolphins. Yeah, they might have to, because right now the Marlins are playing out of their minds. This team doesn't feel like garbage. This team they're not. Everyone counts out the Marlins. Everyone disrespects the Marlins. And it's games like this where I just get so hyped, man. This is Marlins baseball. Competing. Elliot, bright future if the front office does the right thing. Elliot, what exactly are you referring to? Think of some examples, and I'll talk about it, because you're right. The front office has to be locked in. But think of some examples that you want to see the front office do in the next couple of months or in the offseason. Jordan, we might sweep the Diamondbacks. This team has gas. Absolutely. We could be looking at back-to-back sweeps, guys. We swept the Giants. Now we could sweep the D-backs. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Anthony Bender in the 9th inning. I'm so happy we won Marlins prods as well. I love watching this team. I love Marlins baseball. I don't care if people make fun of us for being Marlins fans. I don't care about all the extra noise. Win or lose, it's Marlins till I die. That's just how it is. And this game, you go back to last night where I was a fan in the stands and I got to experience that from the fan perspective and then from the media perspective in the press box, just watching this unfold. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And this has just been so fun these last couple of games. It's awesome. Anthony Bender, 2 innings of relief. He locked it down. I mean, Bender is that dog, man. 9th inning, if the Diamondbacks score a run, you lose the game. Perfect 1, 2, 3. You go to the 10th. Augustin Ramirez, first pitch he sees. It's ironic because Ramirez hits the ball so hard. I didn't look at the exit velocity, but that was like close to a blooper. It was just kind of nubbed out there to right field. And he gets the job done. Otto Lopez comes around to score. Marlins are up 5-4, but they don't get an extra insurance run. So now all the pressure is on Anthony Bender to lock it down in the 10th. And he did just that. Roberto, tell us about the home fans' reactions. Were they stunned? So the crowd was 28,000 strong. So it was a pretty packed house for a day game, I would say, in Phoenix. And when Marte hit that homer, the crowd was really, really loud. Everyone was cheering and everything. And at that point, it felt like the Diamondbacks were on their way to a win. And then it slowly just kind of started to quiet down, especially when the Marlins started their comeback. And when Dane Myers got in safe to second, it started quiet. And then the third base, the crowd erupts. Oh, he's out. And then they challenge. And you can tell everybody thinks he's out in the stadium, which he wasn't. He wasn't at all. He was safe, kept his foot on the base. Incredible body control and IQ, baseball IQ from Dane Myers right there. And that's when things started to really quiet down in the crowd. They were stunned. They were absolutely stunned. I was going down the elevator on my way out of the stadium, and there was another elevator next to me, and these fans were just shocked. And I could hear one of them say, "I just want to switch our bullpen for their bullpen." And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's right. Anthony Bender. Learn Bender ball, baby, because he shut you down in that 8th inning. I got a couple good questions here, Anthony and Elliot. I'm going to get to you guys. I got to hit the ad real quick. Stay with me. I'll be right back after this ad read, and we're going to continue just soaking in the moment of this Marlins win. That's coming up right after this. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with your friends or your family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab those last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, Marlins merchandise, or maybe invite a bigger group to go out with you. Gametime makes that all possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and the lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. For a personal note, I love Gametime. In fact, Friday's game, so yesterday's ball game, I bought my ticket on Gametime. I waited about a couple hours till first pitch. I waited for the prices to drop. It's all in pricing, so I know exactly how much I'm going to pay, and it's that easy. It's one click of the button. So the Gametime's my go-to. It's the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, and you can take the guesswork yourself out of buying those tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back here recapping this epic comeback win from the Miami Marlins. Let's get to a couple of your questions on this live show. We'll start with Anthony. If Miami continues to win, do we become buyers at the deadline after the All-Star break, or are we still sellers? So I hate the idea of just folding up everything and packing it in and selling at the deadline. You know, I hate the loser's mentality. And if the Miami continues to win, the only way I would consider the Marlins not trading all their assets is if somehow they can get to about 5 games under 500. Like, they have to go on a 15-game winning streak. They're 9 games under 500. It's unfortunate, and I understand where you're coming from because I want this team to compete for a playoff berth. Everyone does. But at the point they're in, they are outperforming expectations. They're really hot right now. They're a young, hungry, competitive baseball team, but they're not supposed to be competitive. They're not supposed to be buyers. So I don't think they're going to end up being buyers. Like I said, in order to avoid selling, I would say, on Cabrera and some of the bullpen pieces, it would probably take them, they would need like a 15-game winning streak, which is unrealistic. It's not going to happen, but I feel you. And this gives me hope for 2026, where the Marlins can possibly be a dark horse, team in the National League East. They're 1 game behind the Atlanta Braves, guys. 1 game. Elliot, Marlins should get a real first baseman, add a couple of good starting pitchers, and the future will be very bright. So first base, right? Eric Wagaman, he made one really bad error. He just flat out dropped the ball at first base, but he has 19 doubles on the year. I don't think Eric Wagaman is a long-term fixture in this Marlins organization. He's a placeholder. First base right now is, it's rotating between him and Liam Hicks. But, when it comes to getting that pure first baseman star potential, absolutely. They're going to need that in the future. And for starting pitching, you're right as well. The starting pitching has kind of been the Achilles heel of the Marlins, partly due to health. They haven't been able to stay healthy. So if they can get back Ryan Weathers next season for a full year, Braxton Garrett comes back, you have Yuri Perez, his first full season off of Tommy John surgery, that's a good start. I worry about Ryan Weathers and his health in particular, but you're right. This team still has to add talent, and that's why, going back to Anthony's question, I don't think they're ready to be buyers right now. What they're doing is awesome, and they're playing some great baseball, but they're not there yet. But you see the vision, you see the glimpses, and just the sheer, drive to be better. Going back to last season, it's a night and day difference. I absolutely love it. Going back to Anthony here, would you be okay with going underslot with our first 3 rounds with drafting all college hitters like the shortstop from Vanderbilt, third baseman from Oregon State, and the outfielder from Texas Tech? So at pick number 7, I'll leave this up here for a second. At pick number 7, I don't want to see the Marlins go underslot. And if you follow the draft, you remember last year, that's what they did. They went underslot with PJ Morlando, the high school outfielder from South Carolina. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. They saved that money really to try to sign Carter Johnson, a shortstop prospect, a high schooler from Alabama. And they did. Carter Johnson was my favorite pick of the draft, but he hasn't been very good. In an ideal world, Anthony, I want to see the Marlins go after the best player available, whether that is a pitcher that falls, if one of the big 3 college lefties fall, if that's Billy Carlson Jr., if he somehow falls, JoJo Parker, another shortstop, and Eli Willits. Those are the guys that I think about when it comes to the Marlins draft. Get that high upside star potential talent. Don't go underslot. Push all your chips into that first round in terms of the bonus pool, and just, you need that blue chip prospect. Of course, the rest of the draft is just as important, but I want to see them really attack this first round in terms of the signing bonus. Jace Laviette, That's an interesting pick. I think Laviette is either a boom or bust player. He's going to be a type of player that hits 50 bombs or he's going to bust. That's kind of the in-between, just the profile he really has as a college hitter. But I think the Marlins are probably leaning toward a prep middle infielder. Let's see here. The Jeremiah, we trade Sandy during the deadline to get a massive return from the Dodgers or the Yankees. Here's the thing. Sandy didn't pitch well today. How much of that, he was building his stock up, and I loved it. 4 starts in June. It felt like Sandy was back. Here's the interesting part of this outing against the D-backs. He didn't walk anyone. He just got hit. He just got hit really hard. He was filling up the zone, and the D-backs were making him pay. But you can't look at it and say the control was wavering. He threw strikes at a 74% clip. That's elite. You'll take that 10 times out of 10. I don't know if he gets traded at the deadline. I think these next 3 or 4 starts are really going to determine that. It's really a start-to-start basis. It was just a weird start from Sandy Alcantara, considering his stuff was there. He was just leaving it over the plate, and he was almost too good with his command. Dominicus, what's up, Dominicus? We'd be at 500 if we had an experienced manager. Fix it, Bendix. Yeah, you got to think about the decisions that Clayton McCullough makes, in-game decisions. It was interesting. I really liked the decision by him today to leave Anthony Bender in for that 9th and 10th inning. What do you think about that decision? Because you don't see Clayton leave out his relievers or Bender for multiple innings. You just don't see it. He's usually he's like a mop-up guy, gets the final out or two, and then pitches 1, and he's done. But he got all 6 outs of the game. And, I need to see some improvement from McCullough. I liked what I saw from him in San Francisco, just getting fired up and angry, protecting Otto Lopez. Get tossed. I'm fine with that. I just want to see that emotion. I want to see that fire and that care about this team, that drive to win. He's from an organization that wins. And I've criticized McCullough. I don't think he's done a good job as a manager at all. He needs to really improve with his in-game decisions, the rest of the way. Roberto and the decision to steal third base. What I was wondering about that, and I'm recording the podcast, so I'm not on Twitter, and I wasn't in the clubhouse to ask the question. I didn't have clubhouse access. I wish I did. But was that Dane's call? Was that his decision? He just got a good read on the pitcher and took off? Or was that a Clayton McCullough relaying the signs, getting, you're going to steal third? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Because if it was McCullough's, that's a gutsy call, and it worked out. And you're really happy for his sake that it worked out. Anthony, again, I don't think the GMS for these winning franchises care about his performance. They know the Marlins offense is very inconsistent. Who are you referring to exactly? Are you referring to Jace Laviette? The comment before? Or Sandy Alcantara? Yeah, that's what I kind of lean toward. I think Sandy Alcantara is one of those pitchers where a team's going to look at him and say he's won a Cy Young. We get him in our system on our team with our analytics, our pitching coaches, and we're going to really mop up whatever issue. Yeah, you're talking about Sandy, whatever issue he's got. That's kind of where I look at it. I don't think Sandy is devoid of trade value. That's the thing. The numbers are the numbers, but he's going to get traded. Whether it's this trade deadline, Peter Bendix wants to trade him because, like you said, the haul that they can get. They need those blue chip prospects. They need more consistent offensive talent. But this win, going back to this game in particular, my favorite play of the entire game was Eric Clutch Hernandez with, I believe, 2 strikes and an out, runner on third. You had the infield in, driving a ball deep enough to right field, having a productive out, and then Dane Myers racing home. I mean, the thumbnail on this video, I picked that for a reason. That is hustle. That's just hustle. That is grit and determination. I'm going to score no matter what. This team is hot, guys. They can go for their second sweep in a row. I'm going to be there again. I'm going to be covering from the box, so make sure you follow me for those in-game updates, that in-game coverage. And yeah, let's get this sweep. Let's win again. Let Otto Lopez. How about Otto Lopez? Homered yesterday, homered today. What a find for the Marlins. The revenge series against the Giants. Now he's just heating up in the desert. I love it. I love this team. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I appreciate everyone for listening. Stay safe, stay locked on, and let's go fish.